Rook here, giving you the lowdown on our 4th guild hall coming to Guild Wars 2 in End of Dragons, the Isle of Reflection. Guild halls are private regions that can be claimed and upgraded over time, offering guild members leveling bonuses, shared item vaults, special vendors, access to the scribe profession, harvesting nodes, and more. Capturing, rebuilding, and customizing these strongholds is a quest in and of itself. ArenaNet recently gave me the opportunity to squad up with a group of developers and fellow partners to tackle our newest capture mission. While we did, we talked about the guild hall features coming with the Isle of Reflection. Thank you to ArenaNet for allowing me to join this preview, and a reminder, all footage is in development and subject to change. Let's go get some prime seaside real estate! For the Isle of Reflection, the capture mission will take you to an island just off the coast of Xingye. Casimir Mead and several associates from Cantha's current-day ministries have been given a permit to clear out the so-called squatters inhabiting the island and make use of the land. But it's never that simple, right? Our squad had roughly 37 minutes to fight through the island and claim the hall. It's generally recommended to bring 5 to 10 players with you to capture a guild hall. This has made it difficult in the past for small groups to get a hall for themselves, but End of Dragons is bringing one massive change right off the bat. A guild hall with a scaling capture mission. This new hall will be capturable by even 1 player. This means that if you've wanted your own personal house, you can go to any major city, talk to a guild registrar, name your guild Lady Whiskington's Whiskers, and pay 1 gold to make it official. You are now eligible to go capture a plot of land for yourself. I was told that ArenaNet doesn't have any plans at this time to make the other guild hall missions scalable, but they did say it might be something they could consider in the future. Turns out those squatters are actually a group of extremists known as purists.
Damn purists! They'd better at least have their sectarian demonstrations permit.
In the past, full-scale arena combat was prohibited on the main island of Xingye, out of reverence for the monastery of the same name. To get around that rule and let the monastery's students train, the Xingye Arena was constructed on the tiny island of Tinairukan, to the south. The island wasn't remembered only for the arena, though. The Ministry of Purity was a branch of Cantha's bureaucratic government that sought to exterminate any undesirable elements, including the sick, criminals, peasants, or non-humans. The ministry's leader, Reiko Murakami, enjoyed visiting the Garden of Tinairukan once every week, until she was assassinated there in Guild Wars 1. Don't worry, she was a bad guy. While the Ministry of Purity no longer holds power in Cantha, there are still those that identify with their xenophobic ideals. The purists have even decked themselves out in armor similar to the white garments the ministry once wore in Guild Wars 1. As with the other halls, mounts are usable within, including the new co-op Siege Turtle mount that can help you bombard your enemy's defenses. With the Purist rally broken up, our allies split off to 3 locations around the guild hall to hunt down the group's lieutenants. These mini-bosses can be tackled in any order, so long as your time limit doesn't run out. Our group headed first to the mines. The enemy mob ritualists and their spectral summons throughout the Isle are a fun nod to the ritualist class of Guild Wars 1. Each of the 3 lieutenant bosses are based on elite specializations, basically new class evolutions coming in End of Dragons. First up was the upcoming elite specialization for Thief, the Spectre. This boss's mechanics were fairly easy, though there were several CC phases, some nasty AoE death whirlpools that downed a few of us, and a handful of necromantic adds. Locations such as the mines eventually become upgradable after the capture of the guild hall. Though solo capturing the hall is possible, the materials required to painstakingly rebuild and improve every feature in a guild hall will still end up being a long-term project, whether alone or in a group. Hall upgrades aren't only cosmetic, but also practical. The tavern gives buffs, the workshop allows you to scribe and harvest nodes, guild vendors provide guild gear, and more. You're also able to freely decorate and make the hall your own. Furnishings can be earned from various maps, encounters, or created using the scribe profession in the guild hall. You can even place down raid trophies or other indicators of your guild's achievements to celebrate your victories in-game. It's especially fitting to have an arena in this particular guild hall, as the training arena on the island doubled as a PvP map in Guild Wars 1 known as the Xingye Arena. Here we faced our second lieutenant, the Mindblade. He's based off Mesmer's upcoming elite specialization, Virtuoso. He was slightly more complex than the Spectre, though still fairly straightforward. After building up for a big attack, he'd put down a series of small AoEs that needed to be dodged. The atmosphere of the hall is really something special. Waves lap at the shore, the moon hangs bright overhead, the colors of the buildings are rich and sumptuous whether night or day. Picturesque boats rock in the harbor, but they'll soon be joined by your guild's fishing skiffs, as fishing nodes have also been added into the Isle of Reflection's waters as a unique bonus feature. The breathtaking central building is what I can only assume is the guild hall's war room. The war room allows guilds to interact with claimed objectives in the World vs. World game mode, upgrading their defenses with features including auras, tactics, and other improvements. Players will soon be able to take better advantage of this, since they'll be able to group up with all their guildmates through the alliance system coming to the World vs. World game mode. The last lieutenant we fought is based off of Guardian's newest elite specialization, Willbender. He was probably the spiciest of the three. He leaps around, forcing players to spread out player-targeted AoEs, avoid shockwaves, and dodge out of his point-blank AoE spin kick that quickly downs players. The final boss fight takes place around the crystalline heart of the guild hall. Players face a blast from Guild Wars 1's past with a full-blown ritualist fight, making us all wish we had a secret bonus elite spec coming our way this expansion. The spectral summons unleash AoE blasts, which alternate between point-blank AoEs and donut-shaped AoEs with safe spots underneath them. There are several CCs as well, and pulsing electrical AoEs that drop beneath players. The fight is an exciting and flashy culmination to the entire Guildhall capture experience. With our huge squad, it didn't feel unnecessarily punishing, but I'll be curious to see how challenging these fights are for solo runs. Once you down the final boss, the Isle of Reflection is yours. Again, I'm Rook, an ArenaNet partner, and I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into the latest Guildhall coming to Guild Wars 2. If you'd like a more atmospheric tour of the Isle, check out my Isle of Reflections preview video. You can find additional videos about our time in End of Dragons here on my YouTube, including looks into the Echovald Wilds and Kaineng City. We'll also be talking about the preview live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ROOKURI. If you haven't already, you can pre-order the expansion using the link in the description to support my channel. And be sure to tune in on the day of release for the launch day celebration livestream on Guild Wars 2's official Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook channels. Thank you to ArenaNet for giving me the chance to preview End of Dragons. Get ready to set sail for Cantha yourself when End of Dragons releases Monday, February 28th.